Here are today's top stories. Packing heavy rains and strong winds, Typhoon Rosita makes landfall in Isabela and crosses northern and central Luzon. Malacanang reminds the public to stay alert as Rosita makes its onslaught. Strong waves caused by the northeast monsoon and Typhoon Rosita hit Northern Samar. And fans and celebrities mourn the death of OPM legend Rico J. Puno. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Typhoon Rosita has made its way through Luzon, making a landfall at Isabela before threatening provinces one after another. The typhoon has brought heavy rain and strong winds to northern and central Luzon. Rom Dulfo has the story.
Typhoon Rosita began its onslaught as it made landfall in Dinapigue, Isabela on Tuesday morning. Iligan City and other parts of the province is placed under signal number 3. 48% of the province lost power, while damage to power lines in nearby Cagayan reached 55%. Rosita crossed Nueva Vizcaya late in the morning before heading to Benguet, moving towards the direction of La Union and Pangasinan. Parts of Zambales also started to feel the strong winds and rain by noontime, while roads in Baguio City were at nearly zero visibility. Even Metro Manila and other parts of central Luzon were not spared by heavy rainfall. Almost 3,000 families were preemptively evacuated in regions 1, 2, 3 and the Cordillera Administrative Region or CAR. The Department of Social Welfare and Development is in place to distribute relief goods while rescue equipment are placed on standby. Pag-asa says Rosita may be out of the country by tomorrow evening. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Preparations in the provinces are in full swing as Typhoon Rosita made its landfall in Isabela early this morning. The Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office placed the entire province of Aurora under red alert status as early as Monday morning. In Calabarzon, the Philippine Coast Guard canceled all sea travels, leaving over 80 passengers stranded. In Dagupan City, the local government activated its quick response team in preparation for preemptive evacuation. Residents in Itogon, Benguet have started evacuating as some of them are still reeling from the recent landslide brought by Typhoon Ompong. The provincial governments of Abra and Apayao announced as early as Sunday the suspension of classes in all levels in both public and private schools. Work in government agencies and offices in Abra are also suspended until October 31. Northern Luzon might experience a repeat of the landslide that struck Itogon, Benguet because of Typhoon Rosita. According to the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, Rosita will make Northern Luzon more susceptible to landslides as the soil is already saturated with water from Typhoon Ompong. Steep land slopes are also prone to damage from landslides which may happen after heavy downpour. The Bureau advises the public to heed government warnings such as evacuations. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council cited 43 incidents of landslides, flooding, road slip, land subsidence, and vehicular accidents in regions affected by Ompong. Malacanang reminds the public, particularly those expected to be affected by Typhoon Rosita, to stay alert and be ready for its onslaught. The palace urges affected residents to coordinate with their local disaster councils for immediate response and aid. Typhoon Rosita made its landfall in Isabela and will greatly affect Cordillera and northern and central Luzon. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo advises the public to monitor weather advisories through government channels and social media. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council is on red alert while the DSWD continues preparing relief goods. The DSWD has a standby fund of about 1.3 billion pesos to help those affected by the typhoon. Bus drivers get ready to roll out for Undas, and the Philippines makes headway in science and technology. More on these and other news around the metro from Bench Bondo.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB has granted special permits to over 1,000 public buses nationwide to serve passengers on All Saints and All Souls days. It reminds passengers to check whether the buses they are riding are roadworthy and urges the public to stay vigilant and to avoid boarding colorum or unregistered vehicles. Bus drivers earlier underwent surprise drug tests called Oplan Unda Spot to prevent illegal drug traffickers in taking advantage of the influx of people and busy operations in these terminals to transport illegal drugs. Meanwhile, the Philippines is seen to make headway in science and technology. The OST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña attended the launch of the Philippines' second microsatellite called Diwata-2, which can be used to gather information about disasters, among others. Diwata-2 was launched at the Tanegashima Space Center on Monday. The Philippine National Police reiterates that it will not tolerate unscrupulous acts of police officers. This following the arrest of PO1 Eduardo Valencia, who is accused of raping a 15-year-old girl in exchange for freeing her parents, who were arrested for illegal drug charges. PO1 Valencia is facing administrative charges as well as rape and grave misconduct. PNP Chief Director General Oscar Albayalde assures that Valencia will be given due process. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondo.
Still to come, the AFP thanks President Duterte for entrusting the Bureau of Customs to them. Strong waves caused by the northeast monsoon and Typhoon Rosita destroy houses in Northern Samar. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
That part is part kasi today is the capability enhancement demonstration. So these are just part na papakita sa taong bayan that we are ready. All the security forces here, including the armed forces of the Philippines, including the non-government organization volunteers, are capable, no, of reacting to any emergency.
Today is a great day for the people of Boracay and the people of Aklan. The past 6 months has been a difficult period in the province of Aklan with the closure of Boracay, the main anchor of our economy. Many of our people were displaced, businesses suffered, and the impact on all sectors of the province has been huge.
Let us make this day a day to remember. Today we open the new Boracay to the whole world. Let us join our hands, not only for us, but for the generations to come.
As we welcome a better Boracay, the Department of Tourism urges everyone to be responsible tourists.
Today, on the reopening, we look back on our journey over the last 6 months. We are constantly asked, was it worth it? And our answer is a firm and resounding yes.
Thank you, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, for the political will to make all of this happen.
The lessons learned here are not for Boracay alone, but also for the other island destinations around our beautiful country. The reopening of Boracay is not just the culmination of our journey on sustainable tourism, it's just the beginning. Together, let us ensure that generations from now, our children's children, will still say that it's more fun in the Philippines. On behalf of the Boracay Interagency Task Force, Boracay is now officially declared open to all.
The National Press Club honored Presidential Communications Secretary Martin Andanar for his generous support for press freedom and the welfare of Philippine media. Andanar received a plaque of appreciation from the NPC during its 66th anniversary on Monday. The NPC commended Andanar for his role in the issuance of Executive Order No. 2, or Freedom of Information, which mandates full public disclosure in all offices under the executive branch. Undersecretary Joel C. Egco, Executive Director of the Presidential Task Force on Media Security, described Andanar as one of the best secretaries who served the Communication Department of the Palace. In other news, the Armed Forces of the Philippines thanks President Rodrigo Duterte for entrusting them to the cleanup of the Bureau of Customs, or BOC. AFP spokesperson Edgar Arevalo says the order shows that the president recognizes the professionalism and integrity of the military. He stresses that the AFP will temporarily assign soldiers to work in the BOC. The AFP also expresses support for their former Chief of Staff and now Customs Commissioner Ray Leonardo Guerrero. The BOC came under fire after millions of pesos of smuggled shabu slipped under their watch. Following a forecast of up to 7% economic growth in 2019, an economist is predicting a more grounded growth rate in the country's gross domestic product, or GDP. Stronger government spending continues to propel economic growth. This as ING Bank senior economist Nicholas Mapa sees a 6.3% growth in the Philippine economy in the third quarter this year. The projection is higher than the 6% in the second quarter, but lower than the government's 6.5 to 6.9% output target. Mapa says investment and the strong growth of importation contributes to the growing economy of the country even before the government's build kicks into high gear. In general, he remains optimistic for an above 6% output for the domestic economy. The National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, has approved 2 projects for the rehabilitation of Marawi City. More on this from Miguel Hill.
The National Economic and Development Authority has lined up 2 new projects in Marawi City. These include Stage 2 of the Rehabilitation and Development Plan for a Greater Marawi, as well as proposed projects under the Bangon Marawi Comprehensive Rehabilitation and Recovery Program. The rehabilitation plan involves the construction of the Marawi Transcendental Road and the Malabang Viaduct. Meanwhile, the Bangon Marawi program includes projects in the land resource management, social services, physical infrastructure, livelihood, and business development. Other projects approved by NEDA are the fourth phase of the Pasig-Marikina River Channel Improvement Project, the road network development in conflict-affected areas in Mindanao, and the New Clark City High Performance Gymnasium and Sports Museum Project. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
The Philippines and China meet in Davao City to highlight their improved relations, and authorities destroy marijuana plantations in Sarangani. More on these stories from the provinces from Benj Bondo.
Top officials from the Philippines and China have met in Davao City to highlight the improving relations between the two countries. Present during the meeting is Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. 3 bilateral documents are signed, which includes the supply of law enforcement-related equipment, assistance grant for the victims of Typhoon Vinta in 2017, and the exchange of letter for the feasibility study of the Davao River Bridge project. Wang also met Philippines economic team and the Build team. He earlier graced the opening of China's consular office in Davao City. Waves badly damaged several houses in Northern Samar early Monday. 77 houses in coastal areas of Pambuhan town were destroyed by strong waves as high as 3 meters. Other towns are also affected by strong waves associated with the northeast monsoon and Typhoon Rosita. The PDRRMO had alerted 20 coastal towns in Northern Samar against damaging waves. Meanwhile, Barangay Tanggub is declared champion in the street and arena dance competition of the 39th Mascara Festival in Bacolod City. Barangay Tanggub dislodged Barangay 18, which was last year's champion and is now settled for first runner-up. Barangay Tanggub received 100,000 pesos as well as award for Best in Original Music, while Barangay 18 received 75,000 pesos and award for Best in Choreography and Best in Costume. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
2 students from Kidapawan City have made their mark in the dance sports scene as they dominated an international competition in Hong Kong last week. The Kidapawan City government honored Dance Kid champs Prince Angelou Villarosa and Angel Rabe as the duo made a courtesy call to President Rodrigo Duterte. Kidapawan Mayor Joseph Evangelista praised the duo for bringing honor to the city. Villarosa and Rabe received 14 Diamond Awards in the International Dance Sports Contest, besting other dancers from Asia, Europe, North and South America. Both are under the city's One Team, One City, One Goal sports development. Up next, Typhoon Rosita leaves over 1,000 sea passengers all over the country stranded. Fans and celebrities mourn the death of OPM legend Rico J. Puno. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Nagpapasalamat ang ating gobyerno at iba't ibang sektor ng ating society ay patuloy po natulong sa amin dito sa Marawi City. Doon naman po sa mga hinahing na narinig natin, nakikita natin doon sa medyo naantala na pagsisimula ng rehabilitation and reconstruction ng Marawi City. Nais ko po na bahagi sa ating mga kabayan, lalo na po dito sa Marawi City, na ang ating gobyerno ay ginagawa ang kanilang makakaya nang sa ganon ay makapagsimula na po na ayusin ang Marawi City. In fact, hindi pa po natin nakikita na talagang hindi pa po nasisimula ng mga affected areas para i-rehabilitate, ay nagsisimula na po ang ating gobyerno na magkaroon ng intervention such as the establishment of temporary shelters and permanent shelters para doon sa ating mga kababayan na displaced. So yung pong pagsisimula ng ating rehabilitation ay marami pong dinadaan ng proseso. Like for instance, in the selection of would-be developers, kailangan po yung dumaan sa proseso because we are spending billions of pesos coming from the public funds para punduan itong mag-rehabilitate ng Marawi City. So maingat po ang ating gobyerno para pumili ng mga developers.
More than 1,000 passengers are stranded in ports across Luzon and Visayas due to Typhoon Rosita. The Philippine Coast Guard says over 100 sea vessels were stranded in the ports of Batangas, Oriental Mindoro, Occidental Mindoro, Northern Quezon, Camarines Sur in Bicol, and Cagayan. No vessel shall be allowed to sail except to take shelter whenever storm signal number 1 or higher is hoisted. Meanwhile, all operations at the port of Batangas are canceled as the province is now under signal number 1. Motor banca operations in all ports in Ilocos region and Cagayan Valley are also canceled due to the typhoon. In our foreign news, a Lion plane flight crashed during a short flight in Indonesia Monday morning. Report says the plane took off from Jakarta on its way to Pangkal Pinang in Bangka Belitung province. The flight was carrying 181 passengers, 6 cabin crew members, and 2 pilots. Search and rescue operations have yet to yield any survivors. Indonesian authorities set up an emergency command post at the Soekarno-Hatta International Airport to deal with the accident. No Filipinos were reported on board the said flight. In showbiz news, celebrities and fans took to social media to mourn the death of legendary OPM singer and comedian Rico J. Puno. The veteran singer underwent open-heart surgery in 2015 and an angioplasty last December 2017. According to his daughter Tosca Camille Puno Ramos, Rico Puno died of cardiac arrest. He was 65. Puno, who started his music career in the mid-70s, was the voice behind some of OPM's iconic songs. He also delved into acting and politics. The cleaning up of Boracay is a continuous effort long before the island was closed for rehabilitation. Local divers volunteered to keep the world under the sea clear and garbage-free. Maricor Zapata has the story.
Scuba divers now lend a hand in helping the shorelines clean and remove unwanted items in the marine ecosystem. Linya ng Pagbabago Program, or LNP, has joined the group of Boracay scuba divers and held its own Scuba Sura cleanup drive last May 26. Within 30 minutes after diving, the team recovered 4 sacks of garbage under the sea, most of them consisting of beer cans and bottles of liquor. On the reopening of Boracay on October 26, these scuba divers dived back into the waters along with members of Boracay's scuba shops. This time, the area under the sea is cleared of trash. Boracay's dive and snorkeling spots are about 60% clean. For now, water sport activities are restricted until the Interagency Task Force gives the go signal. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's headlines. Packing heavy rains and strong winds, Typhoon Rosita makes landfall in Isabela and crosses northern and central Luzon. Malacanang reminds the public to stay alert as Rosita makes its onslaught. Strong waves caused by the northeast monsoon and Typhoon Rosita hit Northern Samar. And fans and celebrities mourn the death of OPM legend Rico J. Puno. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.